not need another political campaign based on denial and avoidance of some of our real problems. It needs a crusade to reform and renew our country, its institutions, and political system. This was said by Richard Lamb. Now, Donald Trump is renewing and reforming our political system, but it's no secret that opinions are obviously different on whether or not he's creating a good or bad influence. My three inherent issues are delivery, the way he is changing what is politically correct or acceptable, and then the fact that he is a businessman. For my first inherent issue, one side, people say that he's message testing. Message testing is when you try out alternative messages on different groups of people before letting it go out to the public. Donald Trump doesn't necessarily do it the way most people do. He just automatically gives it to the public. He doesn't test it out on a certain group of people. As the Washington Post says, it's not chaos, it's his strategy. Now he says things on the fly and he just kind of lets it go, but he grasps the attention of Americans while doing this. And now, although it's his strategy, a lot of people say that he's offending people and he's very rude and insulting. And he's also creating a political divide within Republicans and Democrats. A lot of Republicans don't even like him, so he's influencing his own political system in a bad way through obviously the Republicans not supporting him when it's his own group. Immigrants have said that his comments are, quote, unacceptable and, quote, insulting. These are all examples of how his delivery makes a negative influence. And then Donald Trump is setting a precedent on a new form of what is politically acceptable or politically correct. In 1997, Donald Trump said, "I think I'm almost too honest to be a politician." This still rings true today. He's very honest, he doesn't sugarcoat things, and this is making an influence because people aren't really sure how to take it, and also a lot of politicians, they just kind of say things the way they think people want to hear it, and he doesn't do that. He says what he thinks, and that's very important in a president. Now, straying from the path of what is politically correct can be kind of like skating on thin ice. And as Time Magazine says, he's cheapening and polarizing our political debates. He is showing people that our economy and our political system is basically crap because he's setting an example of what a president should be, basically. So a lot of people think that he's not very fit for that. Also, when you go against what is politically correct, it threatens our national security and it also threatens the safety of Americans. So that's why our president and political leaders have to stay within these guidelines. But also, being politically correct prevents racial and ethnic profiling, so that's also why people are very concerned about him going against this. For my third inherent issue, Donald brings a new sense to the political world because he's been a businessman his whole life, and now other politicians have been business people, but he's a very good negotiator. So when he goes into these meetings, he's going to be able to bring what's best for our country because he knows what's best for companies. So he owns lots of successful hotels, golf courses, real estate properties, and also casinos. He's very determined to keep things going strong, so he's going to be very determined to keep America going strong. In New Hampshire, June of 2015, Stephen Sweeney said, "The Donald is going to shake things up. They're not going to be able to push him around." Now, since people aren't going to be able to push him around, when he goes into these meetings, he's going to be able to get what he needs to get done. He's going to get the best side of things for us. Also, he's going to get the best outcome. As Time magazine says, it concerns people that, quote, he has never held an elective office or government post. A lot of people say he's ignorant of politics. Now, being a businessman is very different from being a politician. He may have the qualities of being a president, but he doesn't know how things work properly. And in conclusion, his impact comes from his way of speaking, him going against previous ways, and also his experience in the business world. Although all of these things, people still stand on the line of whether he's making a good or bad influence.
Are you voting?
Well, I'm not 18, so I can't vote, but in my personal opinion, I would rather vote for Donald Trump, and I tried to stay as unbiased as I could, but personally I would vote for him because I know of all the things that Hillary has done, and I just feel like I can't support someone who's killed people and lied about so many things. That's just my personal stance on it.
When you think about the way he's revolutionized the party, the Republican Party, do you think that after this election takes place that the party will try to kind of snap back to what it's done, or will this have changed the party forever?
Okay, if Donald Trump gets elected, I think that there are going to be a lot of changes that are made. While he's in the White House, I don't know, but I feel like he is going to have things go towards his way of changing. But once he gets out of office, I could see things going back to how they were before, because the next president isn't going to be the same as him. He's very, for lack of a better word, I guess, brutal and forceful in the way he is doing things. So I feel like he's not going to let them be like, you can't be this way. So I feel like his ways will go into effect.
And has there been any reports about seeing this change within the Democratic Party? So seeing that it is kind of rallying the base of the Republican Party, are there any changes that are being reflected in the Democratic Party?
I've seen that a lot of Democrats, there are a lot that don't support him, but the ones that do, they're kind of pushing for more ways to be changed. I haven't really read a whole lot about that, and I don't know a whole lot.
Okay.